Today, we will embark on a fascinating journey through sacred geometry and ancient civilizations to modern times, unraveling the secrets behind humanity's most emblematic constructions. Sacred geometry is a system of beliefs and practices that assigns spiritual meaning to geometric shapes in specific proportions. It is based on the idea that the universe is ordered by mathematical principles and that these principles can be found in nature and art. The elements of sacred geometry, such as the circle, triangle, square, and the golden ratio, are found in various contexts, from the construction of temples and monuments to the creation of artworks and music. For followers of sacred geometry, these shapes and proportions are not only aesthetic but also represent spiritual concepts such as order, harmony, perfection, and connection with the divine. Sacred geometry has been used by various cultures throughout history, from ancient Egypt to the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. It continues to be a source of inspiration for artists, architects, and designers seeking to create harmonious environments connected to a deeper spiritual meaning. Let us begin our journey in ancient Egypt, the cradle of one of history's most impressive civilizations. Here, the pyramids erected on the banks of the Nile were not just imposing monuments but symbolized the connection between earth and sky. Their square bases represented the solidity of the material world, while the triangular shapes pointed to spiritual ascent. Moreover, the height of the pyramids was meticulously calculated based on the golden ratio, a measure considered sacred by the Egyptians. Temples, such as those dedicated to the god Ammon-Ra and Karnak, also reflected sacred geometry in their architecture. The sculpted columns mimicked plants like papyrus and lotus, symbols of the connection between the divine and the earthly. And temple layouts were elaborated with harmonic proportions, following mathematical patterns such as the Fibonacci sequence. Before we continue, I would like to invite you to enjoy this video and subscribe to the channel to not miss our daily content. From there, we move on to ancient Greece, where Athens stood out as a center of culture and wisdom. The city was meticulously planned around the sacred Acropolis, dedicated to the goddess Athena. The streets and buildings were arranged in a grid system radiating from the Acropolis, creating an unparalleled spatial harmony. The Parthenon, a temple dedicated to Athena, is one of the most iconic examples of sacred geometry applied in architecture. Its proportions are based on the golden ratio, and the building's plan forms a golden rectangle, ensuring a unique beauty and balance. In the Roman Empire, the city of Rome became the center of the known world, and its architecture reflected the power and grandeur of the civilization. The Roman Forum, the heart of Roman public life, was surrounded by temples and basilicas arranged in a rectangular space. And the Colosseum, with its oval and imposing structure, was a symbol of Roman engineering and its ability to create large and secure spaces. In the Middle Ages, Gothic cathedrals rose toward the sky, representing man's spiritual aspiration. Their tall vaults and stained glass windows created an atmosphere of light and transcendence, while their plans often followed the shape of the cross, symbolizing the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Chartres Cathedral, for example, is one of the most beautiful examples of sacred geometry in Gothic architecture, with its labyrinth-shaped plan representing the human spiritual journey in search of truth. In the Renaissance, man rediscovered the principles of sacred geometry and applied them in the creation of cities and buildings. Cities like Palma Nova in Italy and Santa Fe in New Mexico were planned based on geometric shapes, creating an impressive visual effect. And the Villa Rotunda, designed by Andrea Palladio, is a masterful example of the application of the golden ratio in architecture, with its circular plan inscribed in a square and its proportional facades following the Fibonacci sequence. As we explore these examples around the world, we can see how sacred geometry is deeply rooted in human history and continues to influence how we build and inhabit our cities. Don't forget to leave your like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until next time.